Hi guys, welcome back to my channel. I know it's been long overdue, but I am back. Today I'm filming a postpartum update. I think it's important that we start back to the beginning. After I had Micah, it was a really good recovery until I ended up passing some placenta matter, and that was a little bit concerning. So I was in excruciating pain on top of dealing with the postpartum contractions that you experience when you're breastfeeding. So that's kind of where my pain kind of like all began. So it was more of like a slow recovery, to say the least. And yeah, I ended up that I was in pain until about exactly 6 weeks postpartum. And that was the pain that I was kind of going through at the time. Other than that, everything was great. Breastfeeding was great. I didn't have any signs of mastitis. I didn't have any problems with it. I was getting a lot of sleep. My eating and drinking of water was like on point. So I felt great, other than the fact that my body was healing a little bit slower. So fast forward to 6 weeks postpartum, and that's kind of where everything went downhill. I went in for my routine 6-week postpartum checkup. And that's also where you kind of talk about birth control, what your plan is. Yes, I do want more kids, so I knew that I didn't want anything super long term, but I also wanted something that wasn't like, I wanted something that was going to be easier for me to handle, because I do have 3 kids, and I had 3 kids within 3 years, and I am really career driven, so I want to really work hard towards creating some sort of like business of my own. So that's important, even though I want more kids. So being on the pill, I just felt a little bit more weary of the fact that like maybe I'll get pregnant easier if that ever happened in the near future. So I wanted to kind of like not have that happen at all and not risk it. So that's why I went with an IUD. And I know it's really surprising. I don't really like IUDs, actually. I had a really bad experience. I'm going to get to that. But I don't really like birth control at all, but I do have 3 kids, so I need to slow it down as far as that goes. So I ended up going with an IUD, the Marina to be exact, and this is kind of where the postpartum story really begins as far as the negative route. I ended up getting my IUD inserted at my 6 weeks appointment, and I had a terrible experience. They said that it would be as painful as just like normal cramping that you experience when you have your period. So I have a really high pain tolerance. I wasn't really scared. They do offer to give you Tylenol and also a heating pad. So I didn't take the Tylenol or the heating pad because they said that I would probably be fine since I had 3 babies naturally. So I kind of thought the same thing. My OB went to insert the IUD, and it was so painful. My hips like went through the ceiling. I shot up through the ceiling. I was in so much pain trying to reject the entire procedure. So I felt like I don't know, something was wrong. She was like, it hurts that bad? And I'm like, yeah, it really hurts. I just don't feel like my body has healed enough in order to be kind of going through some sort of like procedure like an IUD. But she was like, no, it's okay. You are probably tender from having the baby, but it's okay. Let's proceed. Let's move forward. And I was like, tears streaming down my face. I was so scared because that was not what I thought it would be like. So I ended up I had no choice really other than to kind of move forward because I didn't want to be in the pill. So it was very painful. Yes, I experienced the cramping that you experience she told me also that you would only experience spotting, maybe light bleeding, but mostly spotting only for like a week, and maybe more so towards like having an irregular period, but not like actual heavy bleeding. So that's what I was told. I ended up going home. I was in pain that entire day, but I still had to get stuff done. I still had to be a mom and do stuff, so I didn't really like think about the pain. But as the days went on, I was like, well, I'm not spotting, I'm full on bleeding now. Like, mind you, I've been bleeding since I gave birth, so it's 6 weeks now, and which I've been bleeding the whole time postpartum, which is normal. But with my other 2 kids, I kind of stopped bleeding around the 4-week postpartum point, this time I was still bleeding. So after my IUD, I'm still bleeding, heavy bleeding. Like having to wear maxi pads still at this point. So I called my OB after like a week, and she's like, no, it sounds normal. Everybody can experience things differently. So maybe the bleeding is normal for my body. So you go in for your month string check. And it's approaching. I ended up getting my IUD put in November 4th. So my 1 month string check would have been December 4th. So I'm like, okay, I'm just going to kind of deal with it. And I called another time, and I was like a week before having to go in for my month string check, and I was like, I'm in pain, like I'm still bleeding every day. So they're like, well, let's just check you on your 1 month appointment on the 4th of December. And I'm like, okay, all right, that's fine. But in my gut, I knew something was wrong. I just knew something was wrong. I'm bleeding this much and I'm in pain the whole time. So I go in for my string check, and they want me to actually get a sonogram beforehand. So I got a sonogram done. And then I go into my OB, and she was like, well, you were right. Something's wrong. We are going to have to take out your IUD. And I'm like, okay, well, I figured, but why? And she's like, well, the sonogram shows that your IUD traveled 4 centimeters south, and it ended up becoming embedded in my cervix. And I'm like, okay. So she showed me a picture, and there are like pictures everywhere in like almost every OB's office that shows an IUD like image being placed in the uterus. It's supposed to be in the uterus, and IUD is like a T. Okay, so the wings of the T it's like up in the uterus area. Mine traveled down the canal into my cervix, and the wings were embedded into the muscle tissue of my cervix. So she's like, that's why you're bleeding, that's why you're cramping. It's really low, so it needs to come out. We're gonna have to take it out today. So that experience was excruciating and painful, but after they got it out and took care of it, it was a pretty lengthy doctor's visit that day. She's like, do you want me to put another one in, or do you want to be in the pill? And I'm like, well, what do you think? And we kind of just all together decided to go through with the IUD and try it this time. And she was like, I think you were right the first time we inserted the IUD. She's like, I just think that you were right. You were too, you were just not healed enough, and you were probably just going through still like the postpartum recovery. That's why it was so painful, and that's probably why my body was rejecting the IUD. So I ended up getting a new one replaced, and ever since then I had a lot of pain that day because I got one removed, and they had to deal with the one that was embedded, and then I got a new one in. So I was in pain that day with cramping, but as of now I feel fine. I feel completely fine. So that's why this video is long overdue, because I just started feeling fine and like my old self. It took that long with baby number 3, but it makes sense. Like the more babies you have, the more you age as a female. And I feel like that's definitely the case with me. And also just doing too much around the house with all 3 of my kids. I never really had a proper chance to like sit and heal. But yeah, that's why this video has taken so long. But I'm excited to kind of like just do a big recap. As far as like my body though, I have gotten cleared to work out at 6 weeks, and I haven't like really worked out. Nothing like Layla and Star postpartum. I was like in the gym every single day when I got cleared with both of them. This time, I don't think I even started working out until I was 8 weeks postpartum, and I worked out like 3 to 4 times a week, but it was like 20-minute stuff, which is, I'm not gonna like sit here and discredit like what I've been doing. I'm saying that is a big deal, but it's nowhere near what it was before with my other 2 postpartum journeys. So this time I've really just kind of taken my time, but I'm eating as best as I can. Not perfect, but I eat as best as I can, and I really am like fully absorbed into being a mom this time. But I do want to work out, and today I'm filming this on the 1st of January. I do want to make it more permanent, and that's why I'm not worried. I have such a good, healthy relationship with food and training. I'm not worried. I know that I'll get back to being in the gym, or at least working out at home consistently. So I do want to do a little body update and show you guys what I look like I'm now 3 months postpartum. I'm over 3 months postpartum. This is what I look like, and I want to show you and be real and honest, so stay tuned. Alright, so this is my stomach from the front. I'm going to roll this down. Alright, so I still have that line there. This is it from the side. So like, I'm definitely not fat. Like, I'm definitely skinny, but there's no muscle definition as of right now. Like, I still have loose skin here, if you can see. I still have loose skin. Yeah, like, my stomach is loose. Like, it is not tight. There's no, like, this is me flexing from the front and the side. So that's just like an honest body update. I'm definitely trying to work on it. So I wanted to show you guys like what my skin looks like, what my stomach looks like, because I think it's important that I'm staying true to like what I believe in and what this channel means to me. I want you guys to see that I have been at a better place postpartum than I am right now, and I'm okay with that, and I want you guys to see that as well. So that's my body looks like. That's what I've been dealing with postpartum. I'm excited to feel better and to feel like myself, and I'm excited to film more videos. I have so much to update you guys on as far as dealing with autistic behavior in my son, eating right, and working out videos, and anything else I can talk about as far as health and beauty and motherhood. I'm really excited. My next video is actually going to be how I sleep train Mika, so stay tuned for that one, guys. Thank you so much for sticking around and watching today's video. Bye.